place.
Welcome back, fellow seekers of the strange and guardians of geekdom, because we're about to embark on a journey into the world of Men in Black. You know, those sharp-dressed agents who keep extraterrestrial secrets on lockdown and wield memory-wiping gizmos that make flashy-thinging a real verb. In this video, we're peeling back the black suits and shades to dive into the unresolved mysteries of the Men in Black universe. We're talking about the stuff that's weirder than an alien karaoke night, from the origins of those cheeky coffee-loving worms to the mind-bending technology of the Neuralizer, and even the hidden secrets of the World Expo Observatory towers. So grab your Neuralizer-resistant shades and let's decode the secrets, debunk the myths, and maybe even find out what's in that alien coffee these agents seem to love so much. This is Men in Black like you've never seen it before. Now, before we go into our explanation, we have a small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you very much. Now let's begin. Who founded the Men in Black? Men in Black, where the mysteries are as abundant as aliens at a sci-fi convention. So who the heck founded these black suit agents of extraterrestrial etiquette? Let's decode this once and for all. In the mid-1950s and somewhere in the depths of the US government, someone had a wild idea. Let's make friends with aliens, they said. Thus the Men in Black was born, starting as this tiny underfunded operation with grand plans to shoot the intergalactic breeze. At first, they were about as credible as a UFO sighting on a shaky camera, but lo and behold, on March 2nd, 1961, just outside the Big Apple, they stumbled upon a group of alien refugees. This was an encounter purely by chance. The MIB bigwigs then decided, hey, let's turn Earth into an alien no-politics zone. They cut ties with the government and rebranded themselves as the Men in Black. These folks became Earth's guardian angels tasked with hiding the ET crowd and keeping them in check. Now, here's the cool part. The OG members included the Lucky Seven who were there at the alien meetup, plus an amateur astronomer and a guy who was basically just lost on his way to see his girlfriend. That lost soul became K, and one of the agents became his partner, D. Dynamic duo, right? Well, fast forward and we've seen the MIB evolve and agents like X, Z and Agent O leading the charge. They've got bases all around the globe, from the bustling streets of New York to the romantic vibes of Paris and the tea-drinking locals of London. These folks don't mess around with world governments anymore because, let's be real, governments ask too many questions. Instead, they fund themselves with patents on alien gadgets. You know, like the kind of stuff that's led to everyday wonders like microwave ovens and Velcro. Microwaves and aliens, who would have thought? Now, remember the Eiffel Tower. Yes, that iconic landmark wasn't just about gazing at Parisian sunsets. Agent E, also known as Gustave Eiffel, was one of the first MIB agents and responsible for that towering masterpiece. Why? Because it concealed a wormhole portal generator, of course. It was like Eiffel's secret handshake to help out alien refugees during the first great alien migration. And if you ever find yourself in MIB's London branch, you'll spot a portrait of good old Agent E hanging on the wall, a testament to his legacy. So there you have it, folks. The Men in Black were founded by a bunch of unlikely heroes who stumbled upon aliens, decided Earth should be an extraterrestrial hideout, and turned themselves into the coolest, sharpest dressed alien wranglers on the planet. And since then they've been keeping the peace, one flashy Neuralizer at a time. A secret history. Do real life Men in Black exist? Dear fellow seekers of the strange and mysterious, let's dive into the cryptic history of the real life Men in Black. We know how those dark suited beings have been lurking on the fringes of the paranormal for ages. So do these shadowy figures actually exist? Or are they just the stuff of sci-fi legend and conspiracy theories? It all begins in 1947, right around the time when UFO fever was spreading faster than a viral meme. You might have heard of the Roswell incident, but there's another intriguing story from Maury Island in Washington. Witnesses there claimed to have seen a UFO and had a run-in with a man in black. This mysterious figure, with a penchant for intimidating people, told witnesses to keep their alien encounters under wraps. Sound familiar? Well, it should, because this tale is one of the earliest accounts of the Men in Black and helped lay the foundation for their mystique. After Maury Island, reports started popping up about these shadowy figures dressed head to toe in black suits. They had a knack for showing up wherever there was talk of aliens, and their job, to scare the daylights out of anyone who dared to spill the extraterrestrial beans. But here's where it gets weird. Theories abound about who these men in black really are. Some say they're government agents. Others speculate that they might actually be aliens, and even a few think that they are time travelers, observing us from a distance. It's like a cosmic game of Clue, and we're left trying to figure out who's behind those dark shades. While these legends and their chilling encounters with alien figures continue to captivate our imaginations, there's still no concrete proof of their existence. It's a mystery within a mystery, wrapped in a black suit. Now fast forward to the late 90s, when Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones donned those iconic black suits in the Men in Black movie franchise. Suddenly the real Men in Black weren't just lurking in the shadows, they were on the silver screen too, and they brought with them a sense of humour, action and intrigue that made us all wonder, do they know something we don't? But Men in Black isn't the only one to embrace those black-suited boogeymen. Shows like X-Files, American Horror Story, and even the Marvel Cinematic Universe have all taken inspiration from the UFO cover-up legends. They've become both heroes and villains, guardians of secrets that could change the world as we know it. Whether you believe in the Men in Black or think they're just a product of our wild imaginations, one thing's for certain. The mysteries of the unknown will continue to captivate us, whether on screen or in the dark corners of conspiracy theories.
Express mail to there. Kevin.
What was Agent K's background before Men in Black? Agent K, the man with a stone-cold demeanour and a resume that screams ultimate MIB legend. Agent K, originally Kevin Brown, is one of the big shots in the Men in Black universe, played with gruff perfection by Tommy Lee Jones and in his younger days by the ever-cool Josh Brolin. This guy is the real deal, a top-tier agent and one of the founding members of the whole Men in Black shebang. Imagine helping establish an organisation that's all about keeping aliens in check. That's K's claim to fame. Now K's not your warm fuzzy type. No, he's seen it all, done it all, and after 40 years at Men in Black, he's about as stoic as a statue. They even call him the greatest agent in Men in Black history, so it's no wonder he's the guy you'd want on your side when the aliens come a-knockin'. But what was K up to before he joined the Men in Black? Well, buckle up because it's an origin story worthy of a sci-fi blockbuster. Back in his pre-MIB days, K was just plain old Kevin Brown. He hailed from Truro, Massachusetts, and had a quirky tradition with his father. They'd speculate on their last meal. Yes, strange, but it seems to have worked for them. K was also tight with his grandfather, who dished out sage advice like slices of pie for clearing the mind. According to Grandpa, pie was the secret to unlocking your brain power and making the right decisions. And you know what? K took that wisdom to heart. But the real turning point in K's life happened on the 2nd of March 1961 when he stumbled upon some aliens, the Baltians to be precise, just outside the Big Apple. Talk about a wrong turn leading to an out-of-this-world encounter. K, who claims he was one dumb kid who got lost on a back road, ended up offering flowers to one of the spacemen. Fun fact, those flowers were initially meant for his girlfriend. After this close encounter of the alien kind, K was all in. He dedicated himself to the Men in Black cause, leaving behind his soon-to-be wife Elizabeth Ann Reston in the process. To cover up his new gig, they cooked up a story about him being in a coma. Smooth move, K. Smooth move. And that is the man behind the shades, Agent K, who started out as Kevin Brown, a guy with a penchant for last meals and a love of pie. But when the aliens came a-calling, he ditched it all to become a living legend in the world of MIB, and the rest, as they say, is intergalactic history. Men in Black's first encounters with extraterrestrial life. Let's time travel back to a pivotal moment in Men in Black history, the first contact with extraterrestrial life. And who were the lucky aliens? None other than the Baltians, making their mark as the pioneers of interstellar communication. Remember the 2nd of March 1961 that we've been talking about. On this day, New York City is the backdrop for this cosmic rendezvous. A group of intergalactic refugees from the Baltian planet lands on Earth. Their mission? To turn our humble blue planet into a safe haven, an apolitical neutral zone for aliens without a home planet. That's right, they were on a mission to make Earth the ultimate cosmic pit stop. Now here's where it gets interesting. Remember I told you about the history of MIB and how it was founded? This is that fateful day with the 7 MIB agents, an astronomer and a young K in attendance. The Men in Black agency wasn't the polished alien wrangling organisation we know today. It was still in its infancy, but they were quick on their feet and decided to lend a helping hand to these stranded Baltians. They didn't just assist, they became the Baltians' cosmic concierge. To top it off, the Baltians' spaceships were nothing short of genius. They disguised them as observation towers for the 1964 World's Fair. We will discuss this in detail later in this video, so stay tuned. The Baltians, those trendsetters from the cosmos, made their debut on Earth, and the Men in Black were there to welcome them with open arms. It's a cosmic meetup that set the stage for all the alien encounters to come. Actual origin story of the worms. The worms. Remember those quirky and coffee-loving aliens? They're kind of the heart of the MIB universe. These little guys mightn't be the biggest players in the MIB saga, but they sure know how to make an impression. In the world of Men in Black, the worms are a unique alien species. They made their debut in the first film, where they play a key role in Agent J's journey into the world of aliens. Picture them as your chatty office buddies who just happen to be from another planet. They hang out in the MIB headquarters, sipping on coffee and adding a touch of hilarity into the mix. Now their backstory gets a bit more interesting in the animated series. It turns out these worms aren't just caffeine addicts, they're also refugees from their home planet, Taquella. On Earth, they enjoy the freedom they didn't have under their Emperor's rule. Yes, they ditched the heavy-handed Emperor for a good old cup of joe. What's even funnier is that these worms aren't your typical warriors. In times of crisis, they're more likely to scream than fight. But here's the jaw-dropping scoop. The worms' connection to another iconic sci-fi franchise. You see, they speak Huttese, the same language as Jabba the Hutt from Star Wars. Does this suggest MIB history is somehow related to Star Wars? Well, that's a cosmic mystery that adds another layer of fun into the mix. So remember, when you're watching Men in Black and those worms pop up, they're not just coffee enthusiasts, they're part of a rich and quirky alien culture with a taste for adventure and caffeine.
I worked for Zed for over 40 years, and in all that time, he never invited me to dinner. He never asked me to his house.
How does Chief Zed die? Who is the successor of Chief Zed? Chief Zed, a familiar face in the MIB universe, meets an untimely demise. At the beginning of Men in Black 3, it's revealed that Zed had passed away shortly before the events of the film, marking his life years as 19XX to 2012. The circumstances surrounding his death remain unexplained, shrouded in mystery, but there's more to the story. Zed's successor as the head honcho of the Men in Black organization is Agent O. She's no stranger to the world of Men in Black, having started her journey as a secretary to Chief X back in the day. Chief X was the top dog before Zed took the reins, and it's clear that the MIB leadership has a history of changes. Agent O is a force you don't want to mess with. Stern, clever, and a true veteran of the agency. Her career trajectory is proof of her dedication and competence. While her early life remains a mystery, we do know that she and Agent K had a romantic connection in the late 1960s, though that chapter seems to have been well and truly closed by the present day. Agent O's leadership is marked by her intelligence and the respect she commands from her fellow agents. She's no pushover, and during the events of Men in Black International, she recognises the potential in a young recruit named Molly Wright, bringing her into the fold and sending her on missions in London alongside Agent H, all under the watchful eye of High T. As for Chief X, he was the head honcho of the Men in Black during the swinging 60s. Agent O served as his secretary in 1969. Chief X, portrayed by David Rossi, had a particular disposition when it came to aliens. He seemed more concerned about human casualties. It appeared that Zed replaced Chief X as the director of Men in Black, a role he held during the incident related to the Light of Zartha in 1978, 9 years after the Apollo 11 rocket launch. In the ever-evolving world of Men in Black, leadership changes hands and secrets are buried alongside aliens in New York City.
This red eye here will isolate the electronic impulses in your brains, more specifically the ones for memory.
How does the Neuralizer work in Men in Black? The The Men in Black's memory erasing Neuralizer, that flashy gadget we've all come to love, might not be as far-fetched as we once thought. It turns out, science is making strides in making this iconic piece of MIB tech a reality, but how does it work? In the world of Men in Black, the Neuralizer uses a beam of light to wipe out memories, and now science is getting closer to achieving that effect. Researchers at UC Davis have conducted an experiment on mice, proving that it's possible to erase memories with targeted light. Here's how it happened. First, they conditioned mice to fear a cage by giving them electric shocks inside it. Then they used a fiber optic cable to shoot light directly into the mice brains, pinpointing specific memory-related cells. The result? The mice no longer feared the cage, effectively forgetting their previous trauma. This discovery hinges on how memories are processed in the brain. The cortex handles memory retrieval and the hippocampus reduces these memories during the process. By targeting specific cells in the hippocampus, the researchers interrupted this reproduction, effectively erasing the memories, so it's not as sci-fi as we once thought. However, before we start waving our own Neuralizers around, there's a couple of roadblocks. First, the technology isn't quite there yet. In the Men in Black movies, Neuralizers are basically fancy laser pointers, but in reality, we're still dealing with fiber optic cables and the brains of mice. Plus, this technique hasn't been tested on humans. It's a mice-only club for now. But even if we could build a real-life Neuralizer, it raises a host of ethical concerns. Memory erasure without consent. That's a Pandora's box we might want to leave closed. So while Men in Black's Neuralizer is inching closer to reality, it might be best to keep this tech where it belongs, in the world of science fiction. World Expo Observatory Towers is not just a building. The World Expo Observatory Towers, they might look like ordinary buildings, but in the Men in Black universe, they're a whole lot more. These seemingly innocuous observatories were actually once state-of-the-art interstellar spacecraft piloted by a group of alien refugees known as the Baltians. Back in 1961, on the 2nd of March, when the Baltians made their grand entrance to Earth, their mission was pretty ambitious. They wanted to turn our planet into a neutral zone for extraterrestrials who didn't have a home elsewhere. Now, when the Men in Black got wind of this, they decided to lend a hand. But of course, they had to keep it hush-hush from the regular folks. So what did they do? They cleverly disguised these alien ships as observatories for the upcoming 1964-65 New York World's Fair. For decades, these observatory towers stood tall, hidden in plain sight. The World Expo was a hit, with visitors enjoying the breathtaking views of New York City, completely oblivious to the fact that they were standing on top of some seriously advanced alien tech. Fast forward to the events of the first Men in Black movie, where Edgar the Bug was causing chaos, hunting down the powerful Archelian galaxy. When the Men in Black got hold of his ship, he needed a new ride to escape Earth. With the clock ticking, the only option left was the still functioning Baltian saucers. J and K, our trusty Men in Black agents, raced against time to intercept Edgar, who had activated one of the saucers hovering over Shea Stadium. In a dramatic showdown, they managed to shoot the ship down. The saucer crashed onto the World's Fair grounds, and the fate of the remaining vessel remains a mystery. So the next time you're visiting the World Expo Observatory Towers, just remember, there might be more to these observatories than meets the eye, especially if you're living in the Men in Black universe. Best to keep tech where it belongs, in the world of science fiction. Marvelous verdict. As our intergalactic adventure through the unresolved mysteries of the Men in Black universe comes to a close, it's clear that this world is just as mind-boggling as any alien encounter. From the whimsical worms sipping at their coffee in the break room, to the tantalizing secrets behind the Neuralizer's mind-wiping magic, we just scratched the surface of this pop culture phenomenon. But remember folks, it's the very enigma of the Men in Black that keeps us hooked, the uncharted territories of their universe that leaves us hungry for more. So whether you're a diehard fan or a casual enthusiast, let's revel in the fact that in the vast expanse of pop culture, there are always mysteries waiting to be unraveled. Keep your shades handy, your coffee strong, and your Neuralizer resistant thoughts sharp, because who knows what other extraterrestrial enigmas the Men in Black universe has in store for us next. Until then, stay curious, stay nerdy, and keep exploring the wonders of our favourite geeky franchises. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't done so already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.